Hey guys, it's John Cardello with The Rebel. I'm here with Kyle Olson, publisher of The American Mirror. If you don't know The American Mirror, you should. I don't think a day goes by now where you don't have 2 or 3 links up right at the center of Drudge.
It's going very well. And what we do is we look at news in a different way, and we talk about liberals, and we talk about just the craziness that's going on in politics today.
Well, in that vein, because Kyle's one of the guys I love to talk to about things like this, I read the other day, and it blew my mind, that if Dianne Feinstein is reelected, she'll be 91 years old when her term is up.
It's stunning to me that here is the party of youth, the party of new ideas, and you have Nancy Pelosi, who's 77, you have Maxine Waters, who's 79, you have Feinstein, you have all of these people, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton. This is not new vision for America. These are old people, and I think it's important to think about that.
Oh yeah, and old people who are all very wealthy. Nancy Pelosi's got a 9-figure net worth. I think Feinstein an 8-figure. Maxine Waters and her husband somewhere between 7 and 8 figures. Bernie Sanders, the crazy old communist, is approaching a couple of million. I mean, these are wealthy. These are the 1% of the 1%.
And so when they talk about the 1% and they talk about income redistribution and all of this, people realize this is nonsense. Because look at you living in your fancy house, your multiple houses, all of that. Nancy Pelosi just the other day was heckled over how much she is worth. And so people are catching on, and it's not just conservatives, it's liberals who are catching on, and they're eating their own.
Well, Nancy Pelosi's net worth came in just shy of $200 million, didn't it?
It's stunning. It is stunning. People have no idea. People have no idea.
Well, I think the average American, though, is wondering. They're saying, look, we understand wealth. We understand people made money before they got into Congress, but you're making $174,000 a year. You don't need it. Let somebody else have a whack at the job.
That's right. And we need to drain the swamp because there is this culture of corruption that is in Washington, D.C. And how does someone like Nancy Pelosi or Maxine Waters, how do they accumulate all of that wealth on that sort of salary?
Right. Well, that's it. And I love when the left uses the anti-gun argument. You don't need an AR-15. Well, you're worth $200 million. You don't need your congressional salary. Right. But what's good for me is not for they.
That's right. And that's the attitude, is they know best. And so the average person is saying, no, you don't. I know what's best for myself, and I want to make those decisions myself.
That's a great point. And I think that's a big reason Trump was elected, the personal response. It wasn't really a campaign theme. It wasn't MAGA or America First or Build a Wall. But personal responsibility was really an undertone, wasn't it?
That and just a disgust with the political system, because they see people like Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters out there saying one thing but living in a different way. Right. Maxine Waters doesn't live in her own congressional district. And so people are fed up with that, and that's a big reason why Donald Trump was elected.
Yeah, Maxine Waters' home is valued at $4 million, last estimate. I mean, most Americans, even CEOs, don't live in $4 million homes.
It's stunning. And so I encourage people, follow the money. How are these politicians getting away with this? How are they getting all of this money, all of this wealth? And people should look into it.
It doesn't concern me when someone was successful in business before they came into office. What does concern me, Kyle, is when we see a financial disclosure, their first one 20 years back, where they and their husband, they and their wife disclosed $500,000 in net worth, and now 20 years later it's $67 million. And the husband's an insurance guy and they're an elected representative. That's problematic. We have to start asking questions about what do they know that we don't.
Absolutely. And not only that, but when they leave office, they stay in D.C. and they become a lobbyist and they just continue in the swamp. And so those are the sorts of things that people need to question. They are questioning, and that's why people are disgusted with the system.
I remember when Sarbanes-Oxley passed, and I believe it was Oxley who left Congress, he made something like $11 million his first year out fighting Sarbanes-Oxley. There should be a moratorium on that. There should be a ban on lobbying against or for any legislation you created.
I think a lot of people are for that because at some point the system has got to change. Otherwise, frankly, it doesn't matter if Republicans or Democrats are in charge. You're going to have the same people making the same decisions, and something has got to change.
Yeah, something really has to give. Kyle Olson, publisher of The American Mirror, and a good buddy of mine. Thanks for being here, Kyle.
Thank you.
Great to see you. For all of your CPAC 2018 coverage, stay tuned to The Rebel, and don't forget to subscribe to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows, and go to your app store, check out the Rebel app.